Hey Lakers fans, this is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and with the 2024-25 Lakers season fast approaching, training camp ramping up, and fans starting to buy into all of the new coach Redick excitement of this run-it-back Lakers roster, I of course today wanted to talk to you guys about shipping out some of the current Lakers players for some new ones. Yeah, it just makes sense. So before the season fully gets underway, there is one final off-season big man trade target that I wanted to discuss with you all, who I think should be under heavy surveillance for the Los Angeles Lakers this upcoming year. And that target is a center out of Indiana. No, not that one. I'm talking about this one. Isaiah Jackson. And ironically, Isaiah was actually a Laker for a very hot second during the 2021 NBA draft because he was selected with the Lakers' number 21 pick that year, which the Lakers traded in the Russell Westbrook deal. So yeah, today we are going to talk about former, very brief Laker and now current Indiana Pacer Isaiah Jackson and why I think he should be the number one big man trade target of interest for the Lakers this upcoming year. So who is Isaiah Jackson? Isaiah Jackson is a long, explosive center with more offensive versatility than he's been given credit for. Isaiah Jackson is 6'10 in height. He has a 7'2" wingspan. Now, he's a pretty frail 205 to 210 pounds, but he has filled out his frame a bit more and gained a little bit more muscle since entering the league, but he does also have a very impressive 37.5-inch vertical leap. Isaiah Jackson played 1 year at the University of Kentucky, Anthony Davis's alma mater, where he averaged 8.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks in just 20 minutes per game. 2.6 blocks in 20 minutes a game is flat out ridiculous, by the way. That is 5 blocks per 40 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in his first 3 years in the NBA with the Indiana Pacers, Isaiah Jackson has career averages of 7.2 points on 59% from the field, 4 rebounds, 0.6 steals, 1.3 blocks in just 14.9 minutes per game. So those are Isaiah Jackson's basic stats. Now, typically I'd jump straight to the game tape now, but we are going to switch things up a bit for this video. And before we get into some film, I first want to delve into why Isaiah Jackson is actually one of the most realistic young big men that the Lakers can trade for. And it all really boils down to money and the NBA salary cap. So bear with me as we're about to get a little bit cap minutia heavy for the next few minutes. I promise that we will get into film of Isaiah Jackson's tantalizing game soon, but let's get into the Pacers salary cap books first so I can illustrate why Isaiah Jackson is such a realistic trade target. In a nutshell, the Indiana Pacers have spent a lot of money on retaining their own players the last 2 years. This offseason alone, the Indiana Pacers re-signed Pascal Siakam, who's making $42 million next year. They re-signed Obi Toppin, who'll be making $13.5 million next year. And then they also extended Andrew Nembhard, who will be making $18 million on his next extension, and TJ McConnell, who will be making $10 million on his next deal. That is a lot of new money committed to current core players. And next summer, that puts the Indiana Pacers about $16.5 million below the luxury tax line. For reference, the Indiana Pacers have not paid the luxury tax since 2005-2006. That is nearly 18 years ago. But here's the kicker. The Indiana Pacers still have to leave some room in their books to re-sign current starting center Myles Turner, who is on an expiring $19 million contract and isn't currently eligible for a contract extension. Let's say that the Indiana Pacers are saving about $25 to $30 million to re-sign Myles Turner next summer. That will blast them well into the luxury tax and almost near the first apron. And for a team that hasn't paid the luxury tax since 2005-2006, that would be quite the philosophical shift and business shift for the Indiana Pacers. And so here is where Isaiah Jackson fits into all of this. Well, actually, here is where he doesn't fit into all of this. Isaiah Jackson is on a $4 million expiring contract and is eligible to be a restricted free agent next season. He is extension eligible up until October 21st, which is the day before the start of the 2024-25 NBA regular season. According to Pacers beat writer Tony East, he finds it hard to see a deal coming this summer unless the Pacers get a clear discount. And if you're looking for a valid reference point to make all this make a little bit more sense, this is actually a very similar case and situation to the one the Washington Wizards and Rui Hachimura were in when they were unable to reach an extension agreement back in 2022, which then essentially paved the way for the Lakers to trade for Rui Hachimura's expiring $4 million at the trade deadline for Kendrick Nunn and 3 seconds. Now, could the same situation happen here with Indiana, Isaiah Jackson, and the Lakers? I sure as hell hope so. So Lakers fans need to be closely monitoring that October 21st date, because if the Indiana Pacers and Isaiah Jackson are unable to reach an extension by then, well, then the Indiana Pacers are in an expiring sitting duck situation with Isaiah Jackson this upcoming year, which thereby makes Isaiah Jackson a prime trade target to very seriously consider. And now let me show you why the Lakers should be that team to seriously consider him. But before we get into the X, Y, Z's of Isaiah Jackson's game, I first just wanted to ask you guys to please do me a favor and hit the like button on this video, comment down below, ring the notification bell, and most importantly, I would really appreciate a subscribe to this channel. 우리 한국 친구들 어디 있나요? 소리질러 in the comments below. I shouted out my Filipino kababayan in the last video, so I thought I'd naturally shout out my Korean chinguyas as well in this one, because I am half Korean. Just kidding, no I'm not. My fiance's Korean though, and so is our Shih Tzu, Rio. Alright, now let's get into the tape of Isaiah Jackson's strengths as a big man. First and foremost, the number one thing you need to know about Isaiah Jackson is he is an otherworldly, explosive athlete whose in-game dunks alone would probably win the slam dunk contest perennially. Just watch him here as he casually pulls off a windmill dunk from the free throw line, the same way that I put antifungal cream on my ringworm after every shower. What? Or watch him take flight here during his rookie year at Summer League, hammering down this go-go gadget tomahawk jam from just inside the free throw line. Yeah, he is a demon of an athlete and someone who I'd actually maybe put above Jackson Hayes in terms of sheer explosiveness. And it's this next level athleticism that makes him such a high-flying, dynamic, vertical lob threat. So in my last breakdown video, I talked a lot about Christian Koloko and what a great lob big he is because of his length and jumping ability. Well, Isaiah Jackson clears him in this department by a couple of miles, thanks to his pogo stick vertical and his ability to rocket off the ground with such quick velocity. When I say that Isaiah Jackson can catch anything and everything, he can catch anything and everything. And sometimes he'll hammer these lobs down right over other big men's heads with such a destructive force that all you can do is hide your wife and hide your kids. And this athleticism also translates over to his penchant for posterizing other unsuspecting big men who dare challenge him in the paint. But apart from his insane aerial feats, Isaiah Jackson is also just a tremendously fluid rim runner. I know I've said this before about bigs like Christian Koloko and Isaiah Stewart in the past as well, but Isaiah Jackson is truly him when it comes to running the floor as a mobile big. But not only is he a fluid runner, he is just insanely quick as well, often sprinting down the court and beating other guards and wings to the basket for easy jams. At times, he almost looks like a gazelle out there running the floor, and is probably one of the fastest big men in the league, with Jackson Hayes probably being the only other big in the NBA who I could see challenge Isaiah Jackson in a center foot race. But now let me get to the most impressive part about Isaiah Jackson's offensive game. He is not just a pick and roll lob threat or a rim running big, he is actually a very offensively skilled and versatile center as well. Unlike a player like Christian Koloko, Isaiah Jackson isn't just a straight dunk or nothing finisher at the rim. He's got tremendous touch and feel in the paint and is very acrobatic and flexible. So whether it's him putting some AP English on the ball, or finishing with his left hand, or flipping up a slick up and under reverse layup, Isaiah Jackson can finish at the rim in a wide variety of ways. But he's also not entirely dependent on being spoon-fed by other primary creators for his shots as well. He can actually put the ball on the floor a little bit and looks very competent and in control when he drives to the basket. And once he makes those drives, he's able to use that nice, fluid flexibility of his to maneuver his way into these very impressive skilled finishes at the rim. And in a pinch, if a play breaks down or he's matched up against a smaller player, you can also dump the ball down to Isaiah Jackson in the post and let him cook a little bit. He has pretty decent footwork, and when you combine that with his solid ball handling and nice touch, he can often cook you up something nice down low main. Now, here's a pleasant surprise about Isaiah Jackson's offensive game. He actually has some pretty good playmaking feel out on the court as well. As the trigger man out of the post or at the top of the key, Isaiah Jackson has really good passing timing and knows how to make some really slick give and go reads to find cutters diving to the basket, often doing so with a nice crisp bounce pass or a laser whip pass that can only come from someone with a good playmaking acumen like Isaiah Jackson. But here's where it gets really interesting with Isaiah Jackson. He has real potential as a spacing big. He shot 5 of 16 from 3 his rookie season and 2 of 14 his second season before completely abandoning the shot altogether last year. But when you look at the way he shoots, mechanically, he's got a beautiful jump shooting stroke for a big man that I think just needs to be unlocked and unleashed with a few more reps. In the past, he has flashed the ability to hit spot-up threes on the baseline, walk into threes for a simple one-dribble pull-up at the top of the key. He can even spot up on the wing, so I think there is something there with Isaiah Jackson and his three-point shooting. And last year, while he didn't knock down any three-pointers, he did still flash a very nice mid-range jump shot. So yeah, I think shooting is a part of Isaiah Jackson's game that's very much real and moldable, and under the right coach, JJ Redick, I believe that Isaiah Jackson can one day be a semi-competent spacing big. Okay, so now let's get into his defensive strengths. So based off of what I've already covered about Isaiah Jackson's physical attributes, this is going to be pretty straightforward. Isaiah Jackson is a smash 'em, bash 'em, get the Fugazi out of here elite type of rim protector. And when you watch the way Isaiah Jackson protects the rim, you'll soon come to appreciate just how much of a pogo stick athlete he is. Because when he rises to contest a shot, he really uses the full force of his whole vertical jump to snatch the ball out of the air or spike it out of bounds with an oomph and a verve that's really fun to watch. As the weak side shot blocker, Isaiah Jackson is a complete menace. Like Liam Neeson moonlighting as a volleyball player, seeking vengeance on the ball for taking everything he loved away from him, Isaiah Jackson always has the meanest, nastiest intentions when he rises to contest a shot. He also just loves snatching errant lob passes out of the air, so don't bother throwing an alley-oop to your teammate if Isaiah Jackson is in the vicinity, because he loves sniffing out those plays and completely erasing the pass attempt altogether. Relatedly, Isaiah Jackson also has got very good defensive hands as a big man. He just knows how to use his long wingspan and active hands to trap and disrupt ball handlers and poke balls loose. And if you're not protecting the ball well, there's a good chance Isaiah Jackson is swiping it away from you and racing the full length down the court the other way in the blink of an eye. And when it comes to guarding the perimeter, as you probably already guessed with a big this mobile, he also knows how to move and slide his feet on the defensive end as well. With his long wingspan and his ability to chop his feet, he's able to hold ball handlers at bay on the perimeter and does a decent job shadowing their every movements. Watch him on this play try to cover Jason Tatum at the top of the key. When Jason Tatum goes into his dribbling bag, Isaiah Jackson doesn't get shaken up, and when it's time for Tatum to pull up, Isaiah Jackson perfectly contests out to him at the three-point line. Because of his quick twitch athleticism, Isaiah Jackson is really good at recovering to players even if he gets beat off of the dribble. Watch here as he covers Jason Tatum again, who breaks him off with a couple of nice crossover dribbles. Isaiah Jackson reaches a little, Jason Tatum then blows past him, but Isaiah Jackson is able to catch up to Tatum and block his shot from behind. Same situation on this next play where Isaiah Jackson pressures DeMar DeRozan up high above the three-point line. DeMar DeRozan eventually blows past him with a quick first step, but Isaiah Jackson is right there with DeRozan, riding his hip, and goes right up with him for the easy swat. Lastly, Isaiah Jackson is also just an active rebounder. If you don't put a body on him or box him out, he is going to find a way to sky for the ball or tip the ball to himself to secure the board. So moving on to comping Isaiah Jackson. For me, the player and big that Isaiah Jackson reminds me the most of is probably a fusion of two bigs. He has DeAndre Jordan's explosiveness off the floor and his powerful jammability, but Isaiah Jackson is also so much more offensively versatile than DeAndre Jordan. So he's almost like a DeAndre Jordan fused with a lighter weight Dereck Lively. Because Dereck Lively can do all the traditional big man things in terms of being an insane lob threat, a cleanup guy, a rim protector, but Dereck Lively can also pass the ball, make good screening reads, and he's also flashed some unlocked shooting potential as well in the past. And so I think Isaiah Jackson does a good job of approximating those types of versatile skill sets as well. So in conclusion, while Isaiah Jackson could definitely stand to gain a bit more weight and muscle, his combination of length, destroyer of worlds athleticism, and legitimate all-around skill make him quite honestly the perfect young big man center for the Lakers to target and invest in. So again, keep a close eye out for that October 21st date to see if Isaiah Jackson and the Pacers have reached an extension deal. Isaiah Jackson was meant to be a Laker, and he could be the final piece to fully making the cursed Russell Westbrook trade right. All right, with that said, that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please again, do me a favor and like this video, comment down below, ring the notification bell, and most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. I appreciate all the new subs that I've gotten over the last couple of weeks. Thank you guys for your support. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.